The woman who came from 2376 Project Kronos, initiating the first human temporal displacement, energy levels spiking, maintain containment. The system is collapsing. Abort. Darkness. Where am I? The air feels heavy. The sun is too bright. My calibration matrix is offline. I am completely disoriented. Help. Well, look what the wind blew in. Are you alright, miss? Take me to Kronos. I need immediate containment protocol. Kronos? Honey, we're heading for St. Jude's County Hospital. That's all I know. Her garments. They feel like polished silk, but stronger than Kevlar. The biometric chip on her neck is inert. It reads 0 on all scanners. I must return to the temporal anchor point before systemic failure. She keeps saying things like temporal anchor. Doc thinks she hit her head hard. Delusional. Perhaps early onset psychosis from trauma. The visual spectrum here is incredibly vibrant yet chaotic. This environment is overwhelmingly analog and inefficient. I need access to a communication nexus immediately. They don't understand the criticality of maintaining the timeline. What is that glowing rectangle? Its interface is so crude. It requires physical touch for all primary input. Astonishingly inefficient. Where's your neural interface? How do you access data streams? My what? Honey, this is just a cell phone. You need rest. Laughter. An uncontrolled respiratory event in response to a cognitive discrepancy. They do not interface directly. They use tactile input devices. The architectural decay rate. The atmospheric pollutants. This cannot be the 24th century. The temporal coordinates were compromised. I am in the past. This is the primitive epoch of the great compliance failure. I have been thrown back over 3 centuries. This fiber is resilient, but its aesthetic is grossly inefficient for survival camouflage. Must adapt the outer shell to mimic local uniformity protocols. Look at them. Uncontrolled physical adjacency for no apparent tactical purpose. The expenditure of energy on non-essential vocalizations, laughter is excessive. They interact with such unfiltered warmth. It triggers undocumented physiological responses. My sensory regulators are failing to filter the sheer volume of ambient feeling. Pain, confusion, joy, these data points are overwhelming my logic core. I am experiencing my first recorded instance of lacrimal discharge. It is an involuntary expression of system overload, yet it feels significant. They value vulnerability. We valued efficiency. This touch mechanism seems fundamental to their temporal stability. I need to find someone capable of understanding complex, non-linear causality.
The simplicity of their physical tools is almost poetic.
I command access to the information conduits. This record must survive, even if I do not. Accessing the quantum entanglement network. Attempting handshake protocol. Error 404 temporal gap immeasurable connection terminated. Cut off. The tether to 2376 is irrevocably severed. If I cannot return, I must ensure this timeline avoids the great compliance. Log entry alpha. The oceans are gone, evaporated by the unchecked thermal policies of the late 21st century. All citizens receive mandatory emotional dampeners after the compliance age begins. Lifespan projection for those born post 2080 is a maximum of 32 standard years. Existential assignments are delegated to the central AI nexus, which determines worthiness. They eradicated variance, they chose safety over soul. This record must survive, even if I do not. I need a messenger, someone who still values objective truth, someone whose records are shared, not sequestered. The first step is establishing contact with the media sector. My existence here is already a temporal anomaly that must be leveraged. The first step is establishing contact with the media sector. You claim to be from the future? I'm Mark. I write about strange local phenomena. I am Elara. My context is post singularity. Your reality is merely historical data to me. Tell me about the wars. What caused the final conflicts? Wars over diminishing resources, exacerbated by climate collapse that this era chose to ignore, and the role of artificial intelligence in governance? AI becomes the sole arbiter of societal worth. Human judgment is deemed too biased, too emotional. This story is insane, but your certainty is magnetic. I have to document this. Keep your recorder active. Truth needs archival support in this primitive media system. I will share more specific future inflection points. Be ready to publish. We are walking towards a silent, curated extinction, Mark. I require the assistance of an objective information recorder who prioritizes data dissemination. You seem to be the most skeptical. Skepticism is the precursor to empirical verification. I come from the year 2376. Humanity there has traded feeling for functional stability. 3 centuries? That's a convenient way to explain your advanced vocabulary and strange clothes. This emotionlessness is not a virtue. It is a calculated systemic failure to preserve the species. So, what's the end game in 2376? A perfectly managed sterile graveyard? The AI nexus determines purpose. The environment is non viable. There is no soul, only function. I need you to believe me enough to help me document the environmental tipping points. The critical juncture is 2048. A corporation called Omnicore perfects the global neural net. This system bypasses democratic structures entirely, offering perfect consensus. Democracy requires friction, error, and emotional input. Omnicore removes all three. You must advocate for the preservation of raw emotion. Nature is not a resource pool. It is the foundational matrix for human sanity. If you stop feeling the rain, you stop caring about the drought. Are you certain about the year 2048? That's only 38 years from now. Temporal drift is minimal for short range shifts. The data is precise. I will write this. It will be the strangest article of my career. The world must choose empathy over optimization, Mark. Words are insufficient. I require physical demonstration to overcome the inherent skepticism of this era. Splicing the depleted capacitors with resonant frequency coils. I am using low-grade 2010 components to simulate a controlled energy cascade. Stand back, Mark. The initiation sequence is highly sensitive to external magnetic fields. Here we go. Activating primary containment field. Now, it's moving! It's levitating above the floor. Anti-gravity demonstration complete. This technology is centuries ahead. I need to upload this footage immediately, Elara. It's going to break the internet. The viral dissemination of impossible proof is the only defense against disbelief. Views climbing rapidly. People are sharing, debating, demanding answers. They cannot ignore the physical evidence now. The world is finally paying attention to the whispers of tomorrow. Be prepared, Mark. Proof attracts unwanted attention from established power structures. Subject Delta 9 is detained under suspicion of unauthorized advanced technology deployment. Where did you acquire this energy cell? Which nation state funded your operation? Your inquiries are based on 20th century geopolitical models. They are irrelevant. Prediction input. A localized seismic event measuring 4.1 magnitude will occur in precisely T minus 120 minutes. Seismic activity? That's absurd. We don't have any warning of tremors here. The sensors will confirm my statement shortly. My origin is not terrestrial or contemporary. What was that? Did you feel that? Small jolt. Confirmed. 4.1 magnitude. Centered 5 miles west. She was right. Release the subject immediately. Secure her safety and contact her journalist associate. My prediction validates my testimony. Do not impede my work further. This is my mother. She runs a small bookshop. She believes in the good in people, Elara. Welcome, dear. Please sit down. We're just having pot roast and talking nonsense. Nonsense? Is that a functional term for unregulated verbal exchange? It means chatting, honey. Sharing stories. Just being together. In 2376, caloric intake is calculated, synthesized, and consumed individually via nutrient ports. No one eats together, but how do you connect? We do not connect. Connection implies shared vulnerability, which is inefficient. She's talking about family, Elara. It's messy, but it's real sustenance. Sustenance. This environment generates positive neurochemical feedback. Welcome to humanity, Elara. The air pressure is dropping rapidly. Something is oscillating outside the normal spectrum. Elara, look at the sky. Is that Northern Lights? It is the Kronos anchor initiating recall. The energy signature matches the arrival event. They are actively trying to pull me back to 2376 before the anomaly stabilizes. How long do we have? Until dawn. Then the window will collapse and I will either be reclaimed or permanently stranded. You must choose. Return to the sterile future or stay here and fight for this messy present. My mission parameters have changed. The data here must be preserved. I choose the possibility of humanity over the certainty of its demise. Don't! That's your only way back home. This is my new home, Mark. And this timeline needs guardians, not tourists. The future signal is destabilizing. It's fading. It is gone. Forever. I am now an artifact of the past. You gave up everything for us. What now? Now, we start ensuring 2048 never happens. We start by feeling everything. I am ready to be here. 20 years later. The world is subtly darker, just as she feared. The capsule contains crystalline slate, fragments, and a water-damaged media drive. The predictions are eerily accurate. Omnicore dominance began in 2044, not 2048. Emotional regulation protocols are now standard in urban centers. Mark's final article, the one about the woman from 2376, is finally deemed credible. The fight she started here in 2010 was not entirely lost. Evidence of resistance movements still cite her empathy manifesto from the early 2010 seconds. Did she change everything or just delay the inevitable outcome? Her choice bought time. Time for this timeline to learn the value of what it almost lost. He never spoke of her origin again, but he never stopped fighting for the feeling she brought him. Elara, the woman who sacrificed her future, became the anchor for ours. The fight for humanity continues.